2, number 75.
We are back.
We are.
Welcome back. Thanks you for joining us again.
Yes.
Come on over, Peg.
See, we haven't really even been drinking that much since the last segment.
Don't
I
look
haven't.
at mine.
It was Judy's beverage for
Yes,
the...
this was a blueberry gin fizz. Prepare for the summertime. There's a lot of blueberries, which I grow in my garden.
Oh, I love that.
Yay.
That's very
We grow them too, but we don't really get them when we do.
Because
The birds eat all of them.
I know, that is true.
that's
I still buy
raspberries, too.
blueberries. Oh, I don't have the raspberries.
Well, anyway, it's my turn for the book, and since it's April's National Poetry Month, do you know
I can't read that
when it
without
started?
glasses.
When Poetry Month was started, and by whom it was started?
I have no idea.
You're not even gonna guess.
No, I really have no idea when it was started.
Okay, it was in 1996.
You know, I was going to say, I
Oh.
think in the 1990s,
Yeah.
because it started, I know, when I worked for
Borders.
Was
Borders.
it
Right.
with Robert? No.
Well, it was by the I know who you mean.
Yeah, no.
By the Academy of American Poets, National Poetry Month is currently the largest worldwide literary celebration. So this is the month for it. It encourages booksellers, libraries, poets, publishers, and schools to promote the importance of poetry and its significance to society and culture. And my mom loved poetry. I don't know that she ever did this, but my book is A. Milne's When We Were Very Young.
Oh.
Just love this book. I told Peggy, I just love this book. It's just so sweet. So I'm just going to read some poems
Yes,
from
please
it.
do.
And I'm not going to read a lot, but page 30.
I'm so glad you're doing this.
Yeah, but you know,
Poetry is so important.
it really is. Okay, so I'm going to read Daffodilly. She wore her yellow sunbonnet. She wore her greenest gown. She turned to the south wind and curtsied upside down, up and down. She turned to the sunlight and shook her yellow head and whispered to her neighbor, "Winter is dead."
Oh,
You know,
I
it's
love
a
it.
good thing that she didn't curtsy upside down. Because her gown would have shown her
That's
bloomers.
very true.
This is called Daffodilly, and the nickname for my daughter Daphne has always been Daffo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's got blonde hair, so like
Oh
a
my
daffodil. So
gosh.
that's so funny.
Does she wear a green gown
She no.
and
But-
curtsy upside down?
No, but I'm going to ask her to now.
Okay, so this one is called Politeness. If people ask me, I always tell them, "Quite well, thank you," I'm very glad to say. If people ask me, I always answer, "Quite well, thank you. How are you today?" I always answer, I always tell them, if they ask me politely. But sometimes I wish that they wouldn't. So like he ended it just so weird. I'm like, yep, okay.
I can relate. Yeah.
Okay, page 81. I mean, there were so many to choose from. I was like, no, I gotta keep it. Okay, so this is halfway down. This is my favorite one of the book. Halfway down the stairs is a stair where I sit. There isn't any other stair quite like it. I'm not at the bottom. I'm not at the top. So this is the stair where I always stop. Halfway up the stairs isn't up and isn't down. It isn't in the nursery. It isn't in the town. And all sorts of funny thoughts run round my head. It isn't really anywhere. It's somewhere else instead.
That's really funny because when I lived in Levittown,
Yes.
and
Go ahead.
I always sat on my stairs
Yeah.
when I was on the phone.
Yep.
Always. I would answer the phone. That was when they were corded. It
Yeah.
was my kitchen, long, wire phone, and I always sat on my stairs, and that's where I had all my phone conversation halfway.
Yeah, I had
A little
similar
less than
experience.
halfway.
I had stairs going up in my condo. We had this great condo in Boston. You probably remember it.
Yes.
And I love
Oh,
it.
yes.
And you walk in the front door and you had stairs, that went up. But I didn't sit on the stairs. Going out to our roof deck in the back, there was one step, and for some reason I always sat there. It's in my kitchen, and it went right up. I always called it my thinking step.
Mhm.
And then when I left this condo, I was so sad to
Oh,
leave
yeah.
that because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm really
Yeah.
gonna miss
It
that
was
seat.
home
It
to
was
you.
such a good
Yeah.
step.
I think stairs
Yeah.
are a very natural place to sit because even in the house where I live in the back, there's a deck with stairs coming down to the yard. And inevitably somebody's always sitting on the
Yeah.
stairs,
It is.
watching the dog or
Yeah, no, it's
you know.
true. Yeah, I just
And
that
then-
was one of my
Cool.
favorites.
Did you have a step? I think.
I did what Peggy basically said how I felt when I was a kid because we had stairs and I would always just sit on the steps and the imagination would
In
go.
the house?
Yeah, in the house. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But yeah, and you know the stairs because you've
Oh,
been
yeah,
in my
yeah.
parents' house.
Yeah.
But I do have a word that came from one of the poems. I'm not going
Oh,
to read the poem
okay.
because it went on and on and on. It was from a teddy bear poem, and the word is adiposity.
Can you spell it?
Adiposity. Adiposity.
Adiposity. I like the
Oh.
sound of it.
Yeah,
Adiposity.
I have no idea.
Let me see if I can read the one sentence that it's
Yes,
in.
that would help.
And I had to look it up because I'm like, really? Let's see. Where did okay. Our Teddy answered not a word. It's doubtful if he even heard. Our bear could only look and look. The stout man in the picture book. That handsome king, could this be he? This man of adiposity?
Oh, maybe royalty or great stature. I'm gonna say stature, like he's tall.
Do you have a,
This man of
and do you audience member?
divine, this man of divine, anyway, something with divinity.
Anything?
I don't
No? Nope. Obesity.
Oh, okay. Spell it for me. I'm adding it to my words.
This man of adiposity. That would be a good kind of like
And I had-
passive aggressive insult. Oh,
Yeah,
aren't you?
a man of a
And this
That's
is
what
written
I'm-
by A.A. Milne.
A.A. Milne.
So great
Boo Bear.
stature.
Pooh Bear. Yep.
Clone.
Yep. So I did
Close.
look up some history of. I don't know how much we know about A.A. Milne other than the
Winnie the
obvious.
Pooh, right?
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, and he was a playwright. He was born in London. He had a son, whose name was
Christopher Robin.
Christopher.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And he was born in 1882 and died in 1956 at 74. I didn't make this a subject of him, but I
No.
just wanted to go. But A.A. Milne.
Oh,
And so for National Poetry Month, when we were very young, I have to admit, some of the poems I'm like, oh, I can't read that out loud. That's
Yeah.
kind of silly.
Yeah.
But, or whatever.
Well, it's children's poetry.
No,
That's
but,
why,
but even
it's-
so, no, not silly in that way. It's just like, I don't know, the way it flowed or didn't flow. Sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe it's just the way he wrote it. But I love it. Though. I love it.
I love poetry. I love that you did it. It's meant so much to me, and I love that it's still it's in our current schools that they make it part of the month.
That's good. That's
And I love
really
how
good.
Biden had that young poet.
Yes.
To
Oh,
at
gosh.
his
Amanda
inauguration,
Gorman.
Yes,
Yeah.
she
who
was.
is phenomenal.
I know,
she-
she really
you know,
is.
She blows me away.
Yes.
She's absolutely, and I believe her books were banned. So
Yeah.
yeah, we got that. Anyway, so the next one is going to be whose topic,
It's my topic.
and it will be.
It will be about the Magdalene laundries.
Okay, so stay tuned.
I'm gonna need another drink to get through that.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh gosh, I know. Good
When-
topic.
When Peggy told me about the Magdalene laundry, bye.
Bye, everybody.
When she told me